And weeks later, we were talking, and two things happened during that conversation. One, we found out that we were all still having nightmares from that we didn't say to each other. We didn't tell each other that. One of us said, I've been having nightmares, and we're like, oh my God, I have too. The other thing was, Amy said, if you remember that part in Jurassic Park with the water glass, and when she said that, I couldn't hear or see, but when she said that, it really resonated, because I was like, oh my God, like, if I knew what that felt like that was making that water, that could explain what I felt. And it was scary. It altered me probably more than my other sighting as far as being in the deep woods. And I didn't even see anything, but it was scary.
Lingering nightmares are a common experience for those like Tina, who have had terrifying encounters with Bigfoot. The intense fear and shock of such an event can leave a lasting psychological impact, often manifesting as vivid, recurring dreams.
Maybe their wife, maybe a good friend, probably got made fun of, buried it for a while. I feel grateful that they feel comfortable enough to come share them with us. But the thing is there's a lot of emotion involved in a lot of these reports. I mean, there was a fella, older fella, he was in his 70s, walking around the hunt and fishing show, probably stopped at the booth 3 or 4 times, a little bit of small talk the first time, a little bit of Bigfoot talk, came back. I bet you came back 3 or 4 times. He must have felt comfortable enough. The 4th time he comes back, he's telling us that he owns some property, hunts right on his own property, and he was just standing at his window one day, looking out his window, and where his, I would say like a field, semi-manicured field meets the wood line, he's looking out the window, and there is a Bigfoot standing there, and there is no doubt in his mind that that's what he's seen. Positively, that was it. And he went on to tell us, and this is the guy that ended up tearing up, that it ruined him because hunting and fishing was his Christmas. That's all he did. He was shopping for the stuff, and he was in the woods. And he could not get himself to go back in those woods, to the point where he sold the property, ended up selling it to his son, who he never told about that. But he was so distraught, and it wasn't aggressive towards him. It didn't even see him. He was in his house. But what he said was, I'm looking at something that's not supposed to exist. And it completely rocked his reality.